Hey y'all, and welcome back to Happiness Factory Gardens. Stick around for a super special video today. I'm going to be taking you through what we are planning for as a company in the future, but just now, as of me, what's in my mind as far as where I've been trying to go with this whole endeavor. And yeah, so stick around, make sure to subscribe below and hit the notification bell so you're informed of future uploads. On this channel, we take you through our journey currently at the stage of a homestead. We just bought a house and we are building it up to be a small self-sufficient homestead. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and move on to a small farm. And then from there on, we'll be building into a worldwide large-scale charity farms network. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to subscribe below and stick around for a video today where I will be taking you through our plans that have been molding in my mind for 10 years now. Yeah, and let's get into it. So first off, I guess we should start with where we're at now, and it seems like a good place to start. So right now we just bought a home, and my wife Anila and my daughter Nasa, or our daughter Nasa, she's 3 years old. Me and my wife are currently building up this house that we just bought. It's on 1.9 acres. A little over half of that is wooded, and the rest is a yard with a house on it. We're turning the yard into, I guess it could be considered a small farm, but it's more like an experimental gardens area. We're going to have all types of different growing approaches, and I'll take you through some of that today, but you can actually see the last video I made, which is going to be, I'm going to put a card on the top. It'll say the name of the video. Click on that. That'll take you to the last video, which goes in depth into plans, specific plans for how we're going to lay out and build the backyard, and in part the front yard as well. But to not get too deep into that for right now, I'm just going to say that we're going to have many different approaches in different parts of our property. And this is phase, I guess, 2 technically of the plan. Phase 1 was just planning and looking forward to an actual piece of property. And that phase lasted a long time. I guess it wasn't always with the idea that having a home would be phase 1 or phase 2. It was actually based on my creative work, my writing, my music, and trying to get a large, trying to monetize that in a large scale to where I could build up to the final phase of this project. But that hasn't happened yet, and that's still on the side. That it would be great if that happens one day. That would definitely boost this whole endeavor, but we're going to start with the core of the whole plan, which is farming, growing food, good, healthy, organic food, and giving that to people that need it. They can pay for it if they can. They can get it for free if they can't. But if they can't pay for it, we're going to be helping them with why they can't pay for it and helping them get on their feet more than just giving them food. Because, of course, you know the saying, you can give a man a fish or a woman a fish and you'll feed them for a day. Teach them to fish and you'll feed them for life. So that's what we're going to be trying to do moving forward. But so phase action, implementation phase 1 would be this homestead, where the videos right now will be coming from as we build up our area here, our space. Phase 2 will be a small farm on a leased land. Phase 3 would be a larger farm on a land that we own. And then fit on a second piece of property, which we would buy around this where we live. And it would be specifically to farm, and we'd have a farmhouse where workers can live if they don't live around the area and they need a place to stay or whatever. From there, we would be moving on to starting the charity farm network, which is essentially where we buy farmland in different areas of the world, and some rich areas, some poor areas, and it's all sustaining the same idea. So this would be phase 4, phase 3, I don't know. The phase after, where we are farming on our own property and selling that for profit, comes these charity farms. And these charity farms are, so say there's a rich area where we build it. Like say we build it in a really nice city in the United States that has a lot of money, and a large percentage of the population has money. So the produce there and the whole operation there would be based around selling our products, not just food, but things like counseling, housing for people in need of housing that may have money, may not. Even in a rich area, not everyone has money. But just for the purpose of making this video simple, let's say it's in a really rich area and everyone has money, right? There's no area in the world like that, but just theoretically, let's pretend that's the case. So in that place, everything would be for sale, all of our services, all of our products. And the money from that wouldn't go to my profit or the profit of the executives or whatever. It would go to building up the areas that don't have a lot of money. So say we also have a charity farm somewhere in a very poor country that doesn't have a lot of money or resources. We would start building up that farm, but all the food would be for free to the poorest in that area. All the counseling, all the things like skills training and job placement, consultation as to how to start up in a better economy in the area, that would all be for free. Unless, of course, there's some people that can pay for it, because like with the rich area, not everyone in a poor area is poor. So it all depends on who's coming in the door, and it might be based largely on honor system if there's no way to, get things down on a software per se, or for example, of where like we can't prove if someone is rich or poor coming in the door, but there is ways to do that. We can ask for their proofs, essentially, like they have to give tax statements or whatever, income proof. But that makes it, that would work for making sure we're not giving things free to people who have money. But that wouldn't really work for efficiency of the whole platform, where we're trying to do things at a large scale. We can't be nitpicking and making sure one person with money doesn't come in and takes food for free. In general, people have a good heart, and though that's not a good way to base business, because people in business don't very much use their good heart or put it to action, but basing things on a place where you come for free food and free services like skills placement or skills training, job placement, counseling, housing. People with a lot of money, there's not very many people with a lot of money that are there. Let's say there's not the majority of people with a lot of money that would come in there and take advantage of those things. It's a waste of time for them. So the honor system seems to work for this platform. So anyways, once we start building those charity farms where people are coming in for all those services and products, then and the rich areas are funding the poor areas, essentially. From there, we want to build up from farms and build it to, once we have the money, the idea is these skyscrapers that are giant gardens, farms. Uh, and in the farms, it's vertically farmed with most likely aquaponics, maybe just hydroponics, but probably aquaponics. It's a very efficient way to use a lot of water without replenishing that water source. Um, and it's a good way to do vertical gardening. So we would be probably doing aquaponics, we'd be doing vertical gardening. The whole building would be self-sufficient on solar, maybe solar paneling on the glass windows, light coming in for the plants. And then at those skyscrapers, at those towers, there would be housing for the people that are working there. The people working there would be people that were previously out of work and are learning a trade or getting job placement for moving on, giving their expertise to the people learning skills and training at new fields, or first fields that they've never trained at a job before, but they can learn how to do a job and then get job placement for after that. So really the idea of this Happiness Factory Gardens is to spread a healthier lifestyle into the world as a whole, and building up from farming into pretty much every facet of the world right now that is struggling to keep up with a growing population, and funds really going to the richer. It's not really trickling down as people say it should. It's not really spreading through the economy, and people aren't really giving so much to charity. They're more doing things that they think that the poor would want, as if they know what's better for the poor, as if the poor can't choose for themselves if they had their own money. But so it's really, this is to sustain people with their own action, and give money straight to the poor in the way of not only money by jobs, but also food, and them being able to learn to grow their own food and get counseling where they might need it, if they sign up for counseling, if they think that they need that, but they've never thought like, well, I don't have money for it. Or they might have thought, I don't have money for counseling, I don't want to go to counseling, it's taboo. This would normalize a lot of those things. And in a space where there's a large scale, effective, efficient production of high quality goods, namely produce, like food. So yeah, that's the idea with Happiness Factory Gardens, and we're starting very humbly. I don't have a lot of money. I really have almost next to no money, but we do have a house. We do have jobs, fortunately. And it's really, when you find your purpose in life, it's not right to move away from that purpose. And I feel like I've definitely found my purpose a long time ago, and I've been sticking to that even through the ups and downs of life, even through trials and tribulation, and not finding it as the easiest route, but it's definitely makes sense as the only route I would be willing to take. So having learned it. So anyways, yeah, we're starting humbly. We're starting with right now we're just at a little garden in our backyard, but we just got into a market selling microgreens. That's phase one of the farm. And then from there we move up, build the farm bigger and bigger. Any extra income from my writing, my poetry, my fiction, my music, and our jobs that isn't necessary for our survival or happiness, will be going into Happiness Factory Gardens. And just a little side note, of course, happiness is not achieved by having more and more and more money, and we know that, luckily. it's sometimes we feel like it might help to have more money, but um, in the grand scheme of things, there's a certain level of money that you need. Then there's a certain level of money that you want, um, that you need. So you want that you actually need, and then there's a level of money that, there's a very sketchy line where you want it and you don't really need it. And above that, you definitely don't need it. So we're trying to make sure we're dialed in on what we want that we need to keep us happy, to keep us thriving and healthy enough to move forward and build something great. And from there, everything above that level of income will be going to Happiness Factory Gardens to build for the world a healthy lifestyle, and spread that. And yeah, so anyways, I hope you followed along with this video. There will be much more clear and concise videos in the future. I'm still new to making videos for YouTube and just videos in general. So this might not have been so clear cut, but I'll definitely make some more like graphics oriented videos and really easy to follow along media for whoever may be watching this to keep up to date and to know what we're doing here. For now, that's all I have. If you like our mission, if you like our idea, make sure to hit that like button so that the video is spread around YouTube a little bit more. Speaking of spreading the video, share it to whoever you think might be interested in our mission here. And yeah, if you have any questions, any comments on what we were discussing in this video, go ahead and comment below. Interact with us. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll definitely get back to you. As of now, any comment we'd get back to, because it's very small scale on our YouTube channel. So yeah, until next time. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're aware of our future uploads and you can follow along with our journey and possibly and hopefully input into that in the future and even starting now. So yeah, we're all in this together, and until next time, see ya. Peace.